live.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. For once we're on time. Like we could have started it like 2 minutes ago too, but we thought we'd wait a bit.
Yeah.
No technical issues so far.
No technical issues
So far.
Fingers
Can you hear us,
crossed.
guys?
I mean, I think there was no audio in the pre-stream screen, but it's fine. I think considering all the issues we had over the past few streams, I think I'll take it like that. So yeah, for once we're early. For once we're using all the proper devices. For once everything looks fine. Everything's good.
Something will happen, don't worry.
So hello everyone. Let's just go through and just say some hellos for people.
Hellos.
Do you want to do?
Yeah, let me start with
Facebook.
To the Facebook people, we have James Proctor. Hello to you. And the Ozarks. Hello Andrew McCarthy. Hello Nick Kathmix. I don't know if I spell it well. Probably not. Hello Corey Speaks. Hello Juan Manuel Oliveria Arevalo. Hello Stephen Carter, Gaston Orofino, Rodo Cueva. Hello everyone, and to all the communities watching us today.
On YouTube, hello to Helion, hello to Ivan Garcia. Ooh, that's a long one. Carpinteria Montesinos. Hello to Tony Kreft. Hello to Tyler Turney. Hello to Shane Green. Michael Atkinson. There are some Chinese people in there that I cannot read, unfortunately. Hello to you as well. Hello to Steve Carlos, Greg Beard, Dan Ellis, Jordan XZ, and Yeramiel Valentin. And
from tweets, hello Puppy Bless, K-Bone 777, Jeffrey Moom, Big Bronze Dream, Crippling Lighting, Gray Malion, Kronos Prime, Mr. Cupcake, and Laserclaw 80. Hello everyone.
Hello. Welcome to a new stream. So what are we going to talk about today?
So today we're going to talk about this week's event. Jairo is going to go through what you're going to expect in this weekend. We're going to be showing the new bots joining us in a few weeks time in the game. For our people that are in the newsletter, you already kind of know who they are. For the rest, we're gonna reveal them.
Yeah, so we show some renders in the newsletter, we're gonna show them in the showroom.
Okay, we couldn't wait this time.
Yeah, so
we couldn't
we kind of want to for you to guys get the content, and we wanted to actually start testing them, so we wanted to get them out. But it was kind of like before they finished, so you'll be able to see them in the showroom today. We will talk about questions and now do Q&A. Play around with some of the toys, do some dialogue and
some
trivia, of course. Cool. Shall we start going through the event then?
Yeah, let's go. They are asking if the Matrix is USB powered because they can see you. And yeah, we are charging it because guess what? Optimus has died again.
We have to unlock it afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool, so let's go through the event then. Straight to the game.
The event this weekend is called Dirty Politics. It's completely unrelated to anything from the real world, especially from the political panorama. But it's Dirty Politics because actually the Predacons, and by Predacons I mean the Beast Wars Predacons, are planning something. I'm talking about time and space continuum warping and everything. And that's why this weekend you would see what happens with the different factions. And anyways, the event is a 5-star event, so it's one of your favorites, where you can get enough, a lot of shards, 5-star shards. I see many people claiming, oh, it will be my next unlock.
It will be my next unlock.
It will be your next unlock.
So I think with the achievements update we did last week, a lot of people got a lot of 5 stars, and now they are a bit closer to getting to that point. So I think we'll probably see a lot of people unlocking the new 5 stars.
That's what we wanted. We encourage you to complete your collections and go maybe for your first 5-star. It's always a nice experience. Anyways, these
people are seeing the X-Wings and it's like, are we gonna make a crossover Transformers and Star Wars?
That's what somebody says. X-Wings, and I was like, do we have some? I was looking for the toy, and I was like,
does it show from behind? So so we do have some X-Wings and some Lego Star Wars stuff.
Pretty big.
But
I think it's my little homage to The Mandalorian. I really enjoyed that show. So Dirty Politics, it's a 75. It's 75 prestigious because 50, that's kind of the standard, but many people always want to go further. Then 100, we noticed also it was a bit too harsh because you see 100 and you want to complete everything, right? So let's set as 25. You can go as much as you want because you can get up to 7,500 premium crystal shards, 150,000 spark, that's a lot to level up your bots. 75 of these old school crystals because you can get shards, and with these shards unlock all these old school bots. And just by going by the tiers, 750 guaranteed 5-star shards.
Cool. So let's see how it actually looks.
Yes, let's go in. It's the usual setup where there are 2 tiers with 5 stars, and then at the end of it you can unlock the oldest gold crystal. Something we added is that the drop chances are even, so you have the same chances as all your teammates, you have the same chances when you open a crystal. So we wish you the best of lucks when participating on this event. It's also a super XP. That means, wow, it's extra on top. So now fighting always gives you more and more and more. And in this case, you will see that the further you go on the battle zones, the more XP you will get, up to plus 900 XP. It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So this weekend it will be an intense one, and make the best of it because it's a pretty good event.
Yeah, it's like I think we're doing like these 5-star events every 2 months, so it's nice to have them. But this is like one of the improvements we'll be doing in the events and the rewards for people to be able to get like more 5-stars and more powerful bots. So it's nice to know. I think definitely the acquisition of 5-stars have increased over the years. Like it used to be like you get like one year or something, or you'd spend a lot, but now I think it's feasible to just get one every half a year or something, for sure.
What was your first 5-star, Yanis?
My first 5-star was, I'm trying to remember.
A long time ago, you don't even remember.
It must have been Windblade, I think.
Before the buff.
Yeah, before the buff. So Windblade was, Windblade was the first, then Jazz 5-star was the second one, so that I put better on the second one. And I think after that I've been quite lucky in most of the things, like I think now I have a Prowl, like Lethal one and Blaster, so quite a few because I just target the bunch 4, which has all the good bots, so I'm gonna get all of them. But I don't know, because I'm now thinking I having 5-stars, which bots to open. It's I see a lot of people having the same conversation. It's so hard to choose because you want something that would be useful in your bot or something that would be cool to level and useful in things. So there are so many options now that it's really hard to choose.
Plus there is this bot that you want in a specific one when you're not sure to have it because it's still a draw. Yeah.
I have I think the option is either get Slats and Ratchet from bots for the remaining 2 bots, or go for bots 2 with Optimus, Skyburst and Wheeljack. So it's good options to have for both sides, but I don't know, someone will definitely replace someone in my war squad, but I don't know.
Well, you can't lose.
Well, always 5-star. It's
I think 5-stars is good because you don't have to grind them as much and to level them as much, so you can be straight away 50 something levels. You can get them at HQ against HQ 16s, and you can actually get a better chance of winning. And they're pretty cool. So I hope you guys get lucky and you pull another one, or if not this time, then hopefully the next one. We're gonna keep doing these events every 2 months, so more people are gonna get the opportunity.
And with the achievements now, you also get some shards. Everything sounds.
I don't know, if we have them there, we can probably show the achievements, because we talked about it at the end of last stream. We just remembered. So it would be nice to show them. So now there's a lot of new achievements now that you have. I think this because it's not a level account, a lot of the earlier ones. But I think now we have achievements if you collect if you collect 5-star, you get 1. If you level up a bot to level 60, you get stuff. If you upgrade your combiners, you get combiner spark. It's not just cyber coins anymore. It's 5-star shards. You get G-metal chip core if you level up your core. So the whole idea behind them, I think, is to
Yeah.
just
So every time you reach a point, the idea is that it opens the door for you to advance to the next point inside the game. So when you fully upgrade a building, or you get this chip, or this chip for your HQ, you upgrade a bot, you get a spark to start your next one, you get a 5-star, you get some shards, so you can start the next collection. And basically, the idea is to let players, no matter which level, to snowball into the last tiers of the game. To increase your collection, upgrade your bots, your combiners, your buildings, everything, and make everything being able to play to the last level.
I think like whenever like achievements are not meant to reward you for all of it, like to give you back everything you've done in order to get to that point, but it's meant to kind of help you progress. And it's nice to have targets.
I mean, the big reward from a 5-star is getting the 5-star itself. You cannot go over that, right? But as Yanis was mentioning, is to.
But I think the rewards we had so far were like out of date, and all of them were just given out when we designed when we start the game, and at that point for the people that were designing how the game will look in 3 years, maybe the 65 cyber coins were quite impressive, but thinking nowadays 65 for getting 55 level is not that great. We haven't changed them because a lot of people have already got them, but we added a lot of them in order to help you progress forwards.
There was some balance issues with the old ones, so changing them was unfair for everyone. But in the other hand, we have the system now, and we can always decide to add more or related to new features, new content on the game. So always able to add this extra step that will grant you some freebies.
Cool. So shall we do some dialogue?
It's time for dialogues.
So as you said, this is all about Biscore characters again. So the new Biscore bots, I guess, is coming around. We're actually, before this stream, we were just going through, watching an episode of Biscores, just to remind ourselves how they
The kind
sound.
of voice they're using, yeah.
Of course, we're not going to go anywhere near because we have accents and we're not really voice actors. So, but
What? We are not voice actors?
that's the general theory thing. We suck. So cool. So let's do dialogue. We didn't do anything last time because we were late. So you get to enjoy us this time around.
Yeah. You wanted to be this one Megatron or Megatron?
I'll do Megatron. Raise a claw. Find out what he's doing. Where and who it involves.
He-Woo.
Megatron. My quantifiably inferior namesake.
The one with the prongs and the minicons.
The other one serves dress sense and IQ with Grimlock.
Ooh.
He's up to something. Setting up a satellite base somewhere, fiddling around with space bridges and transwarp tech. No doubt looking to add his growing Predacon pack and then challenge for the Decepticon leadership. Again.
And again.
So find T-Rex Meg. Clip his clothes.
Exactly. Tantrum. Nip this mild insurrection in the bud. Make a suitable example of him and show the others. In particular Megatron with the prongs and the miniguns.
That's all.
That the only master plan maker around here is me. Excellent.
Let's go, boys. Need to teach this inferior Predacon a thing or two about the laws of this particular neck of the jungle.
Time to butt heads and take names.
Oh, no, actually business.
I thought they were, but they weren't.
I was like, oh, what did I even practice?
I think I confused it with the last one. That every character has whiskers, and this one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the Autobots maybe.
Yeah, on the Autobot, yeah, because on the Autobot side, of course, like all the Autobots, Beast Wars, and the original Autobots are together to bring this new bot, and of course, on the Decepticon side, they're still trying to challenge the leadership with new bots. So yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Megatrons there, there's a lot of egos to feel.
Yeah.
So they're definitely hard to coexist. What they have 3 Megatrons and 1 Deathosaurus. Definitely not gonna be.
I would add more Megatrons though. There is always a space for more Megatrons.
There is one big Megatron missing.
Probably more than one. That we
Yeah,
know.
true. That we know, yeah.
Okay, trying to, so in Discourse, as we said, the reason behind that is for some new pieces coming in the game. So whoever has not actually applied to our newsletter, which you should do because there's a lot of interesting news every week, these new bots are Dinobot and Dinobot 2.
Yeah, and you could so in the newsletter we were sharing also the bios of them. So that's the little text that you can see in the game, written by Simon Furman. It tells the story of Dinobot, who was actually a Predacon.
Yeah, it's actually, I have not actually seen a lot of Beast Wars in my life. I don't know, because I was a bit older when it came out and I didn't really like the animation, let me say. But as I was reading about new characters to do, and I was seeing who are the available options from the left bots, I saw Dinobot and Dinobot 2, and I saw the story is great. The story writes itself Dinobot, the second lieutenant of T-Rex Megatron, changes size and becomes this heroic Dinobot, gets killed, and then Megatron resurrects him into a new version that's more evil, but even that version has a heart of its own, so he still kind of remembers. And that story itself, a lot of people say Dinobot actually being for both sides, we could have just done one character. But I think the story of having this one character, in different time periods, which is exact same thing, would be more fun than actually just give Dinobot.
But it's more fun to just make two different bots than just one.
And also Dinobot 2 looks really, really right. As you're gonna see in the game, he's just mental. I think we
absolutely Dinobot 2 team.
Some of our players mentioned oh, but why did you take Dinobot? Dinobot 2 he appears so little in the story, but actually it's also in Simon Furman's story. All the Beast Wars scientists, tarantulas and all that really struggle to find his timestamp in the portal to try and resurrect him, because he appeared not very long at all. But he's a really cool bot.
Yeah, it's a thing. A lot of Decepticons players want to use Dinobot, but I think Dinobot is cooler.
It's cool.
This just offers so much things. You're gonna see we work with these new animations because he has a cool tail and stuff. So I think it gives a lot of ideas for the design.
It looks quite evil, and there are things that appears in the 2, for example, Dinobot 1, it's just in the Beast Wars cartoon, he shoots with his eyes quite a lot. And Dinobot 2, which is sort of the evil version, only has one eye left and just shoots with just one, a red beam. So
let's actually take them to the showroom and play around with them. Oh no, it's broken.
Why? It was working.
It was working, but I unplug it and replug it, and that creates
that's
problem. So don't worry, we'll fix it hopefully.
So funny story, I was reading about Dinobot a lot to find some questions and trivia, and apparently there is an episode.
can you hear us now?
So we'll be able to hear
Yeah.
some part. Oh wait, no, you can't. No, because the camera is there. The camera is dead.
They say yes. They say yes.
Yeah, no, I think they can hear us.
They can hear us, okay. I don't know if they can hear us now. Oh, they can hear us from the mic, but the camera is still a bit broken. Cool, so do you want to play around while I try to fix this mess?
I wouldn't move it a lot. This device.
So you must be wondering what is this massive blue things here that serves as a shield This is like when we saw it, it was like, oh, that's quite awesome. We definitely have to do this. And when you transform Dinobot, you obviously realize his tail as a raptor, and it goes at the back right here. It is some sort of
we're back.
as per usual, which is like what is like a bit challenging for us is like to get the skins right. So we always like make them. You can see that like they're a little bit metallic, so they're less kind of like biological or organic than like real raptors. We still have kind of more robot aspect to them, which the details are done like on the knees there, and you can see under you can see all the robot sides. But the transformation are quite cool.
Cool. So there was a couple of you guys are back to us, and there was some makeover, but I think that should be fixed now. Hopefully everything should be fine. Sorry about that. These things are a nightmare. But yeah, Dinobot actually.
So here is our Dinobot. Yeah, it just came today from the art team. There was like a lot of work to
There's
get
still
it
like
right.
there's still some problems with it. You can see like the sword maybe
Bit
is
of-
not
yeah.
perfectly aligned, and they clip some stuff. But he's quite like he just I think came in, so we still have a lot of work to do before he actually comes in around 2 weeks time.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see the robot form like under the all the raptor bits.
Can do another transformation back.
Yeah. Transformation is quite quick, but it's very like kind of like it has a flow. You know, it's like it's logical. It works really well. It's like
Yeah.
I like when he just gets out and he spins his shield and
yeah, just yeah.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah, we watched quite. I watched actually quite a lot of like Beast Wars bits on Dinobots, and he actually, it's funny. He uses the shield and the swords quite a lot, so he fights more in this form rather than the Raptor one, and he uses his shield and spins like this and just like takes it to like push the other bots back.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Dinobot.
Well, he has a lot of vibes of a gladiator, right? With the sword and the.
Yeah, he's quite agile in the cartoon. He just jumps very high as well. Yeah.
cool. So we saw the next one, which I think for us like it's even better.
I like it a lot. It's really cool.
It's creepy.
It is creepy. He has more like of a creepy head, one-eyed. Well, he has two eyes, but the other one is kind of closed.
And
I think it was damaged. So this is kind of like resurrected from some spark from Dinobot from
yeah. What in Dinobot 2?
yeah.
He got like I think they just extracted the spark of Dinobot and then they combine it with the spark from
Rampage,
Rampage, and then just make an amalgamation of things.
with Transmittal 2 technology as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Which doesn't really exist in our universe, but we just take these guys from the time periods. So anything could happen in the future.
He looks like the perfect villain from the show. It's with the eye, the cyborg eye, and everything, and the spikes.
The tail is really long. It looks a little bit more like silver and like skeleton-like.
It's such a great world.
It is.
And the Raptor looks really quite cool as well. Like it doesn't really look like any other bot.
No.
That's the thing. It's like it's really quite. Even the Raptor.
It's kind
is
of
like
a twisting.
original.
I think when T-Rex Megatron made him, we kind of like headed downward so much. It's kind of like I'm gonna just ruin him and make the most monstrosity of I can do and just use him. But his story is so cool because even in this form, he still has some shade of the original Dinobot in him, and that tells a lot of story, which is why I think we wanted to get him to the game for sure.
It's like Dinobot was an animatron, and this is the thing inside it. The mechanical part. It's so cool.
And transforms again.
I think for him, like, yeah, as we said, like, we did like new animation because a lot of the times, like, we can just use the same rig, like if it's bipeds and stuff like that, so it's cheaper. But when we have characters like that, with like, oh, here's a big tail, it's nice to do stuff with them, like just attack with it or attacks. It gives a lot of inspiration. So you do like so many transformers, which is a biped transforming into tanks,
Transform into a plane or
into a
something.
plane. Then you just want every now and then to just have a bit of this because it gives you, I think, ideas.
Yeah,
of
so
design.
then you have a biped with a tail, and you just want to do something with it, like because it's new, you don't get it all the time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks time, we're gonna have another stream where we're gonna show the ability. We still haven't even started
Yeah, there's been a little bit of prototyping, but nothing. that we can
prototyping,
share.
so it's really early to share. Of course, gonna have some of our playtesters actually have a go with it and see what it feels. But he will be coming in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna show them a bit more in the next stream in 2 weeks' time, just before they be released, so you can actually see what you'll be going for. But I think it will be a good bot.
It would be a good bot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
looks good. We're gonna make it feel good as well when you use it on the battlefield.
Cool. And that's Dinobot and Dinobot 2 coming soon into the game.
Yeah. From our friend in Facebook, Adam Moldin says they extracted half of Rampage's Spark, which was made from info taken from a Starscream Eternal Spark, and then they took the Transmetal 2 alien device and a sparkless protoform and created him. It's so simple. Oh, right.
Well,
Thanks for the heads up.
yeah, that's why it doesn't look like anybody else because it's a very complicated formula.
Yeah. 19 minutes in the oven and then you get this.
Okay, so I guess it's time to move in to some Q&A at the moment. If you've
Yes.
seen any questions. Before we get to that, I would like to show you some cool stuff we got from our friends in Hasbro. I don't know if you guys have seen this in some of the stores. This actually is a really cool book, if I find how to open it. It's the Transformers visual history, with this actually really cool kind of holographic, like Optimus and Megatron thing. And it has inside a lot of art from every Transformer kind of franchise, from toys, from packaging.
It's very expensive.
It's quite expensive. So it's like packaging. There's from the original G1. There's from animation. There's from the movies. So there's a lot of stuff, and there's actually games. So we actually have a double page from us.
Yeah.
So Hasbro sent us, I said, thank you for the 4 or 5 years we've been working with them. And actually this means a lot of rights for the artists when you can actually see your creation alongside all these things. So it's a lot of movies, there's concepts.
It's very interesting to see how different cartoon had this different take on bots.
Oh yeah.
You know, how, because that's what we do. We just we take a bot and we try to adapt it to our game, and you can see what other people have done in the past, which is very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, so you have comics here, and you can see how they were influencing comics from IDW, Dreamwave. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and if I can find out where we are in the game, like you see.
Is this part of the book as well?
I think that's a lot of concept. This is, I think, posters. That was part of the book, yes, but this is concept from the new series, the Seeds, the Wolf of Cybertron Seeds toy line. There's that one, and
We have quite a lot of those toys.
Yeah.
Hasbro came around from the side.
and this is us, the Airforce.
So there.
So a few of our loading screens. So yeah, it's really good. If you guys can do it, I think I'll definitely recommend it. It's a lot of things to just go through.
It's
Cool
amazing.
aspects. Cool.
Cool. And thank you, Hasbro.
There are some
thanks,
like
Hasbro.
there's some really smug Bumblebee pictures as well.
Yeah, that goes to a calendar probably. And the iconic Shockwave, this iconic comic with "or are all dead."
Are all dead.
That's perfect just to put on a frame and have it at home. So if you have the chance, you find this book, it's totally worth it.
I like a lot of people say, why do we have Bay Megatron and Orp on the cover?
We didn't make the book.
We didn't make the book. When I got it, I was like, it's gonna be just all the art about the movies, but there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of different continuities. There's Cyberverse, there's a lot of animations, all the animations, Beast Wars. There's so much stuff in there. So maybe the art, could be It's
More classic.
Optimus, but I think overall it's a good look.
Or Megatron. Optimus looks better.
Cool. So, been any questions?
There hasn't been many questions.
I see questions about the new watch. More about the skills and more information. It will come in the next stream, so we cannot still say what, but in 2 weeks.
About what?
What kind of bot will be
Ah.
the Dinobot and this kind of
Yeah, I don't
answers.
think we have the details again.
Can we change the Prime Core to make it as effective for other boards than it is for Skyburst? Because now Skyburst has a G1, then there's no point of putting Prime Core. No, I don't.
I mean, Primal Core is effective on any board. The thing with Skyburst is he has a spread, so like he hits a lot more targets affecting it. So a bot like Skyburst is the most ideal option. There is other bots, like there could be other bots that have the same spread in the future, so maybe we have more options. There already is, I think, Seaspray has a bit of a spread.
Does it?
Yeah. And I don't know how it applies to like AoE kind of attacks, if it actually goes in the ability. So there are kind of options, but Skyburst, yes, is the best thing for Primal Core.
Yeah, and we know that like Skyburst ability is quite valued and appreciated, so but there might be more in the future.
Yeah.
Definitely. Straight to the point, when is HQ17?
So HQ17, actually the original plan is for HQ17 to be released the last month, January. But in the progress of making it, we were deciding like what needs to be done and what would be cool for it to do. And we decided that we wanted to do a few more things to come along with it. So if I have to guess, it will probably be either the end of this month or at some point in March when the actually time is gonna be. But it's not gonna be what you expect. There's gonna be some differences from the original HQ. So a lot of people will expect like I'm gonna like upgrade HQ. You will see HQ17 build bases like in a week's time. This is not gonna be the case. We're gonna be like kind of facing it in a way that you're gonna have to work on to get it. It's not just about like money and keeping cybercoins and then the alloys on engine you need. There will be some other costs that you need to be acquired.
Yeah, there was some legitimate concern of people thinking like, oh, some players are going to be HQ17, it's going to be too hard for me.
I can guarantee you that it will probably take at least like 8 or 9, 10 weeks for even the top people to upgrade to it. So there will be quite some time since it's released before everyone can actually be having maximum things. The other thing we can say is the bots will be able to be leveled up when this HQ17 comes. They will be only going up to level 65, from 6 to 65. There will be other things like we're going to be increasing the XP that all the other bots go. You get from normal battles, so it will be harder. It will be easier to get to level 60. So you will be able to do some more catch up as the people start upgrading. There's going to be a new kind of game mode that come along at the same time.
Ooh.
So this is
I don't expect you to talk about it.
I'm not going to tell you.
Water here.
I'm not going to tell the details, but there is going to be a new game mode. It's just going to be a twist on the existing PvP game mode, but it's kind of more geared to something to do between the weekdays. So between when the events are open. This is more going to be targeted in single player, so you'll be able to do something. And hopefully you'll be able to do something else during the week, because I know a lot of people just do gores, some raids, and then usually they just wait for the weekends for the event. So there will be a new game mode coming in alongside that, the HQ17. What else can we talk about it?
So while we're at it, some players were asking like, what will be the upgrade time for the building? Is it going to be 21 days?
It's going to be, I don't know exactly, we haven't actually gone to that point where we figure that out. It's going to be longer than the existing one, for sure, because we don't want people to rush into it, to be honest. I want people to just take the time to enjoy this HQ, because I don't want to have to start thinking, oh, 6 months, everyone is now HQ17, I want to need to start thinking about HQ 18. So take more time because it is gonna be quite a big significant increase. So I think
Which is gonna give you time to level
the
your
building
bots for
types
it.
will be more than currently HQ 16. There's also gonna be like I think we already talked about it, like some of the leagues that are a bit lower than Cybertron are gonna have kind of a debuff for like top level HQ. So HQ 17 will be getting a bit of debuff in Caminus leagues and all the leagues behind it. HQ 16 itself will be getting a bit debuff if you're fighting to gold leagues and below. And the same thing, like they're going to be staggered. So you're fighting into the Junkion links. I think you'll be able to expect it to everything like I think around HQ 16 and 12 and above, we're getting a bit of kind of a debuff. This is more like to kind of slowly introduce players into wars and not you go in straight in and there's an HQ 16 base when you're a Junkion and you don't know anything to do. So with a bit of that, we're going to be rebalancing the zones with a new introduction of a new zone with a new HQ.
Some players were asking if it would be possible to put more than one bot into the lab.
There might be, there's something considering, but if that's the case, it will only gonna be like if you upgrade the bot to above level 60, then you can actually at the same time maybe upgrade a bot that's like for the lower levels. Because yeah, the bots going to level 60 will take some more time to upgrade, and we don't want like that means to me that you cannot actually get new bots or level up some of your other bots in the background. So maybe there will be some coexistence in that, but we never want to at the moment to allow you to just have multiple bots that are level 2, level 20, level 30 or something like that. There will be a zone 15, as some people are asking. There will be a new zone, and that will also kind of rebalance the existing zones. Another thing that we kind of change is at the moment when we take a bot's a basis power, we don't actually take in consideration what outpost bot you have or what combiner you have assigned. So a lot of the progression difficulty in war is not perfect because you could get some really unlucky, really hard opponent that just doesn't have enough high level calls, but he has like level 60 bots early on, and then you get a bit easier bases next. We fix that, so now we'll be taking in consideration that, so the more powerful of the bots you have in the outpost, that will actually make your bases harder. And that will allow us to actually have the matchmaking in the zones a bit better, because we now know that this boss has an outpost, a combiner assigned to a beacon and the bots, then it should be harder than any other bases that don't have. So we're going to be rejigging all that. There's a lot of balancing, of course, to do with how strong the bases are, the buildings are, how strong the bots are. As we said, we're going to be really looking at a lot of the classes. Air class is going to have a buff. Gunner class is going to have a buff. Tanks, warriors themselves are going to have a buff. So we're going to be all looking at all how these classes actually can stand in this game, because we know like a lot of like gunners are pretty weak on health, same with airplanes, and after a point it doesn't make sense to have these classes. It makes sense to just have like special bots all around. So we do want to tweak this a bit and change it that all bots can kind of have their place in the battlefield.
That they have like all they all work in some sort of tactics.
Yeah.
All of that. I don't know if I was copying the questions. I don't know if you exactly replied to this, but will there be a zone 15?
I've already said that.
Okay, cool.
I
I was trying to say on topic. Okay, I got
Double confirmation.
The questions about if combiner is going to go above level 20. Nothing planned yet, but now that we'll be giving a lot more combiners spark in events, and people can actually like start leveling their combiners, maybe in the future we will need to push them. It's a bit early now because we still haven't seen a lot of combiners at that level, like that above level 10. So we don't know how it affects the balancing. But as we start seeing like a lot of combiners get to that point and the bases get stronger, then it might actually require to have a combiner that's higher than that. Another thing I forgot to mention is the new HQ will have an increase of battle time. So for 3 minutes, that's all the way to HQ 16, it's going to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The reason is like the buildings are going to have so much more HP, and they're going to have be a few more. So we're already kind of pushing a lot of battles to lose because of the end of the time, and that's not always good. So I think we'll be giving another 30 seconds on top if you are an HQ 17 base. So just by upgrading the HQ, that gives you another 30 seconds on the battle clock, and I think that will be a big improvement for a lot of people.
That's interesting.
On the topic of combiners, are there any consideration of 5-star combiners?
No, no consideration, because then we will. I guess if we get to a point where we have like all the bots that's 5 stars for that one combiner, maybe we can start thinking about if there's something to do. But I don't think we are in that situation yet.
Yeah.
And also we need to figure out what makes the 5-star combiner more special than the 4-star and the 3-star.
Does that mean another ability?
Yeah. So and that will require tech. There's a lot of consideration, so we're not there at all. There's a lot of people mention about if we're gonna unlock level 10 plus on 3-star combiners, and we are actually talking about that. I mean, we don't see a reason not to. It is a possibility that will come, because I think a lot of people that have difficulties getting the fourth board after a point makes like they can't get stuck, and it's like I don't have what to use my combiner spark to level my combiner. So I mean, you already get a 4-star, you get the bonus of having the extra ability, so that's a good incentive to do it. I don't think there's a need to keep them at 10, so maybe we'll be changing that.
Another question, are there plans to expand the squads?
The size of the squad. The size of the squad, no. The 8 bots that you have at the moment is kind of the maximum limit you can actually do. It's more of like if you play the game on an iPad, which is a 3.4 aspect ratio device, there's no actually any kind of space to put an extra bot in there. If you include the combiner and the boost, we need to rethink things and move things around, and it's not an easy or fun thing to do. So at the moment, I think 8 bots would be the limit, and I think it's sad. I think after a point you have too many bots, it's really hard to kind of play with everything.
Yeah, many.
Cool. Any other question that I missed?
Will you make it possible to use crystal shards and a max bot to upgrade it to the next star level?
Well, that's unlikely. Basically, it's not how the game was built from the start, and we still believe they are used to some 3 stars, 4 stars. So of course you want to keep them. But yeah, it's kind of the part of the progress. The progress is that you get to your 2-star, and then your 3-star, and then you're happier because you get your 4-star, and then you start developing them.
And can you make larger spark bundles?
Yes, I read that question somewhere. I will have a look. I will have a look to have bigger Spark bundles on the store. There was also a question about the 2-star shards. There was a time, well, it's been a long time now that we switched the 2 stars for premium crystal shards in the events, because they are better perceived. You have this chance to get 3 and 4-star bots, and we are aware there is no use for the 2-star shards now. The plan is that to get clean or to get rid of them, probably just grant you a premium crystal in exchange for these 2-star shards. But the idea is to, at some point, just take them out again.
Cool. Some people are asking if we can add 2 new zones. The existing zones don't get even harder. With all the cores and stronger outposts, they keep getting harder. I think that the problem with that is only on the top zones, because the top zones are pretty much like at the moment the top zone, zone 14, is like anything we add, it just doesn't count. It's because there is not an extra zone. I think by adding an extra zone and actually kind of placing it to the point of like you are an HQ 16 but don't have like maximum bots or everything, and then you have that spilling into the next zone, it actually makes you know what you would be getting. You're gonna be getting like a zone 14, gonna be an HQ 16 kind of max basis, but not with powerful bots. And then you have the next zone, who's gonna be the next step after, like really powerful bots, HQ 16 base, and then eventually HQ 17 bases getting built up. So you know what you should be getting, and the rest of the zones down below, they don't really change. that much. Maybe a new kind of core functionality could change the meta, but I think you need to be, if you're trying to solo, then you need to be expecting that something will be different. It's not always going to be just deploy one bot and win. There should be option for people to defend their bases.
You can keep on asking questions, but I'm gonna go with the trivia.
Yeah, let's
because
do
we're
some
getting
trivia because we're getting near the
close
end.
to the time, and yeah. So there is a question again written by Nathan Webb.
No, this time I did it myself.
Both.
The first one, I'm a bit proud of it.
Yes.
And the second one, it was like a last minute.
Okay, so the first one, we're gonna, like, if you give the answer, pop it into the chat, give your alliance name, your in-game name, and your HQ level, together with your reply. So the question is, the events that kicked off Beast Wars were based around a mysterious artifact that led to the death of Dinobot. This artifact is called the Golden Disc. That this design was inspired by another disc that is famous in our reality. What is this disc?
Golden disc.
So let's repeat this question. The events that kicked off Beast Wars were based on a mysterious artifact that led to the death of Dinobot called the Golden Disc. This disc design is inspired from which other famous disc of our reality?
Some sources say it's the very disc. Some sources say it's just inspired. It depends on the lore you look. But yeah, we have something pretty similar in our reality.
I'll do some other questions while some people are answering. People are asking about the G.I. Joe music, why it's gone. As I said before, unfortunately it's licensing. We only had the temporary licensing, and Hasbro didn't want us to have a lot of the G.I. Joe stuff in there while it was outside the time they gave us to promote the characters. But hopefully in the future maybe they will come back and the music will come back. I mean, I was heartbroken because I did a lot of work to actually get the music in and figuring out the tunes we were playing, but unfortunately that's a reality when you have to do with cross-licensing deals. Sometimes you just have to do it temporary.
Yeah,
It is
if
what it
we
is.
can, we will. That's
Yeah,
for
I mean, I definitely want to do it because I do love the music. It has a lot of different qualities and intricacies of the music we have already in the game.
So if you have the answer, just in the chat with your, it was the player name, HQ level, alliance, and the answer for the question of the trivia, just in the chat. Then we randomly select some winners that will get some freebies into their accounts. Questions?
Some people are asking like it's really hard to find to get all the characters to make a combiner because they don't appear.
Yeah. I read that. I was thinking actually when you land into a quality, let's say you roll and you will get a 3-star. The possibilities of get a bot, it's equal for all bots. So it's the same drop chance for a 3-star because the roll is a 3-star. Then of course as we are adding more bots, it's kind of harder to land on a specific bots. And that makes, for one side, get a specific bot a bit harder. On the other side, we have more bots that are part of combiners, so you also get combiner bots. I will think about it. The thing is that I think it's the most fair thing that you get a same chance for any bot in the game, so no bot is harder to find than any other bot. But is it true that we have a lot of bots right now?
Well, combiner bundles, I guess, could be a better option to target that because at that point, then you can get a bit more chance on getting those bots.
Yeah, well, combiner bundles only have combiner bots, only
Yeah.
have combiner bots, so it's the best way. But if you are a free-to-play player, for example, I guess it makes it a bit harder to land them from premium crystals and others. But we have them from the Shanix store. You can get the Combiner Spark in events now.
And then hopefully at some point we'll do another event where you can actually get a chance to finish on your combiners in the
We
future.
will, for sure.
Okay, cool. We got some answers to the question that Jairo came up with. I'm gonna try. Should we say?
Well, honestly, it was
Do you do the answer?
I didn't give the answer yet.
No.
I should.
Yeah. Before we go to the next question.
So
And the winners.
yeah, so the golden disc from Beast Wars is very similar to the golden record that was contained on the Voyager space probe. So this record was built by Carl Sagan and it contains information about mankind and Earth and mathematics that prove our species' knowledge.
That's a very good idea, especially if you are a hostile alien, so they can find us and defeat us. Because they know about
Because they know how much we know about the world.
yeah. But yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, so the winners are Gigabomb 98 from Forever Evil, we have Shockblade from Alliance of Allies, and we have Combus Peak from Scorch Moon. Scorch Moon, right?
Combus Peak from
Scorch-
Scorch Moon.
Scorch
Yes,
Moon, yeah.
Scorch Moon. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations to you. You should receive some freebies in the days to come.
Cool.
So for the next question, can we do the first to answer Getty?
Yeah. I'll have to be.
So what?
The first to answer the next question gets the reward.
Do you know the answer? Yeah, you do know the answer.
Well, if it's a channel like YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So, question: how many 5 stars are in the game? How many 5-star characters are right now in Transformers Earth Wars? Answer now. Your alien's name, your name, and your HQ level. Level, yes.
Yeah, together with the reply, obviously.
Yeah. The
The first one on your screen. So
the first one on your screen.
The answer needs to be correct as well.
Yeah, of course. No Harry Potter.
No, because I saw a reply and it was wrong. So.
I think there are 2 factions.
Ah,
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 ah.
I see one
I see one then.
on tweets.
Yeah.
I can go Facebook then. Facebook people, how many 5 stars are in the game right now? If you know it, write it down with your player name, alliance name, and HQ level for a freebie. The first person to answer gets it.
So we'll get one by channel,
Yeah.
and that means like so far we don't have it on Facebook.
What?
Yeah.
We get one reply per channel, and so
Yeah.
far nobody replied on
It's
Facebook.
so-
So if you haven't win yet, you can jump on Facebook and post your reply.
Wow, that's.
You can just get the second one if you're fast enough. Like,
We have a lot of viewers. There is a lot of trolling in YouTube today also. I guess it's the weather. But yeah, just jump into with your answer. Remember, it's 2 factions.
And here we go.
and that's a thing. Yay.
Oh,
Cool. So the answer is 62. So
it's 5 per, so 10 in the new 5-star
Yeah.
crystals. Then it's 50 in the legacy crystals, and then 1 per each Shanix store. It's 1 for Autobots and 1 for Decepticons. So it's 62.
cool. 62
And I'm
bucks.
surprised that Sunstreaker Watsa, you failed the question, man. What happened there? And, thanks everyone for participating.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna be giving you the rewards as soon as we can.
The winners are, we need to say the winners.
The winner
Yeah,
is
Gigabomb 98 again.
again. Oh, so-
He was the first, we can't not give him
Yep.
again. Prometheus
Prometheus
from Matrix Dark Ops.
Oh.
and Mega Cupcake from Rangers Wreckers. Congratulations, guys.
That was quick.
That was quick, yeah.
Good. Awesome. Don't know if there's been any questions in the meantime.
Music.
There's a lot of questions that we've already answered, so people just emphasize that you already answered all of these questions.
Have we talked about the tactician gold cores more useful compared to bronze cores?
What?
Sunstreaker actually is asking, can we get tactician gold cores more useful compared to bronze cores and also improve Pulse course.
Death Pulse course.
Death Pulse.
Well, Tactician has a
It has a function.
it has a function. Like if you don't want that function, because if you don't want it to last that long, then after a point it doesn't have. But not all cores will be amazing or
Yeah.
do whatever you need to do. They're all kind of like situational based because they're just fill gaps if you need them.
I know we buffed cores in the past, but they were like we buffed the Nexus Prime core, but we buffed it because it's a Prime core. You know, they only 12 of them. They're unique, and that made sense. But like for the regular cores, it is normal that some of them will not be so valuable to you.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with leveling up or having a more powerful tactician core is the time duration that you will be only targeting defenses. Maybe some cases it will be better, but usually people just use it to like tack core rusts in the game. So a lot of the times bronze could be better because you can just equip it and equip it for free. But that's what it is. Like it's there to play for that reason, so we don't have any plans to change it. There's a lot of people asking for a lot of for other bots that are G1 kind of basics. I think, as I said, like eventually we're gonna have a lot of people that are actually G1 bots. It's just patience and a matter of like what comes in. So with Dinobots is in Dinobot 2 this time. The next one, we'll see what it is. There's a lot of bots there, we know it, and we are excited to get all of them eventually in the game.
Definitely.
Cool. So let's do a recap, I guess. I think the time is nearly up. So we talk about the event this weekend.
Dirty politics.
Dirty politics.
Dirty politics. Politics or politics, right? 5-star event, 75 different prestiges, well, the same prestige, 75 times. And you can get a lot of shards, a lot of spark, and a lot of 5-star shards.
We also rehearsed our best Beast Wars voices to read some dialogues, and there was no Beast Wars characters in them, so that was a bit of a fail. And then we showed the two new bots, Dinobot and Dinobot 2 for the Decepticon.
Which will be coming in the game in around 2 weeks' time. So join us in the next stream where we're gonna actually show these new two characters the ability and show them again and actually take them into battle. And we probably will have more concrete details about HQ 17.
So that was a big part of the Q&A.
There was a lot of big part of the Q&A, what's coming in on HQ 17. I think I did kind of speed through up because there's a lot of stuff. But hopefully we'll be able to have like a stream summary that we'll post in our Discord channel and people can actually have that. But more details will follow in the newsletter in the coming weeks for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of work going into it at the moment, so we're just trying to get it out. But
it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's like heads down for sure. Like I'm not like, do I have to come to stream? Like I just need to just keep doing stuff. But we need to entertain.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be an intense year, so a lot of news coming up.
yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming in.
It
So
is,
hopefully
it
you
is.
guys will be excited for another year of us and we of you. Cool.
In the meantime, we'll see you again in 2 weeks then.
Yeah, give you in 2 weeks. Right. Oh yeah, no, do that.
Oh,
That's it.
you are
It
not
doesn't-
chosen.
Oh, it doesn't have a battery.
It never had. It was
Never had a battery. Anyway, see you guys.
See you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.